dry. Do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile? Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever?
I was never a big fall decorator, considering that it stays super hot here in Texas until probably the end of October. But the more and more time I started to spend inside my home, working from home, but not only did I want to feel the changing of the seasons outside, I wanted to bring that in my home as well. And not to mention, I love being creative, seasonal decorating, and sharing all of my ideas with y'all. So in today's video, I'm decorating this console table here, the mantle fireplace, and a console table behind our couch. It's going to be different than I've done the last 2 years. It's going to be more earthy, organic, and elegant was the look I was going for this year. And I'll also give you some DIY tips, and if you want to go more bougie or budget, I have some option and ideas there. But starting off right from the get-go, I ordered these pumpkins from a place called Hot Squash. Now, I get a lot of my ideas through Pinterest, obviously, and Google, and I found a blog post from a blog called Decor Gold, and she had all of these pumpkins from this place called Hot Squash. So I went to their website immediately, and I wanted these pumpkins. Now, they come in like all different colors, shapes, and sizes. It is a bit of a splurge because they are high quality. The stems are real pumpkin stems that came from, real pumpkins, and they're heavy. Like they're filled with like rice or like something that's more heavier than just like a plush cushion. They have tons of different beautiful colors and sets, and if I'm being completely honest, I went directly to their sale page and then I ordered 3 sets of these pumpkins from their sale. I am decorating with velvet pumpkins. I felt like the velvet pumpkins look super elegant, and I just wanted to make that my theme for this year. My vision for this table was to do a pumpkin patch kind of collage with just these velvet pumpkins and make that a statement piece. Now, I'm also going to reuse these for Thanksgiving. We do Thanksgiving at my mom's house. She doesn't know yet, but I'm going to kind of take the same collage and do a dining room centerpiece with it as well. These stems I had from Hobby Lobby, and I also wanted to share with you guys the Hobby Lobby pumpkins. So I'm going to use these over on my mantle, and these ones from Hobby Lobby are a lot more budget friendly, but I did want to show you the two, so that way if you wanted to go more bougie, you could. If you want to go more budget friendly, you can do that as well. They had a couple different colors at Hobby Lobby, and the ones from Hobby Lobby are a lot more like cushiony, like pillowy, whereas the ones from Hot Squash are going to be a lot more solid, heavy, a little, better quality, and then they do have those real pumpkin stems. But like I mentioned, I am going to use both of them throughout the house. So I am going to use the greenery that I've already had, and that is from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to put it underneath and then just create a pumpkin collage, starting with the largest pumpkins and then filling everything in from largest to smallest.
Well, like that time I picked you up outside of school, you said, screw my dad, I make my own rules. It was easier then, so much easier then. Take me back to those easy summer days when we stopped at nothing, baby. Yeah, we stopped at nothing, baby. They couldn't take us, they couldn't change us, they couldn't catch us if they tried. Now we didn't care at all about winter or spring or fall. thriving on kisses and sunshine and mischief. Yeah, we had one of those things. We just had one of those things. I guess I've had some things to figure out, but now that I'm done, I'm full of doubt. Was it easy for you? Yeah, was it too easy for you? You used to say that you would always be mine, but you seem to be doing just fine. Now I think about you, I just can't seem to stop thinking about you. Take me back to those easy summer days when we stopped at nothing, babe. Yeah, we stopped at nothing, babe.
I was watching a post from Shay McGee about how to style a console table, and she said she recommends 3 different heights. So I wanted to keep the lamp on the right side to create height on that side, and then the middle pumpkin collage is going to be lower level, and then I'm adding the candles back on the left side to also create a different level of height but not overtake the pumpkins. Fairy lights make everything pop, and I saw these at Party City one day when I was there, so I decided to get these, and then I'm going to add them to brighten this up and make this piece really stand out.
When we stopped at nothing, babe. Yeah, we stopped at nothing, baby. They couldn't take us, they couldn't change us, they couldn't catch us if they tried. Now we didn't care at all about winter or spring or fall. We felt so alive, and girl, we were thriving on kisses and sunshine and mischief. Yeah, we had one of those things.
So I'm really pleased with the way this turned out, and it's not too over the top. It's just some greenery, different size pumpkins, and fairy lights. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to reuse this as a tabletop centerpiece for Thanksgiving decor, so I'm really going to utilize these pumpkins in different ways. But leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about the velvet pumpkins. So it may look like fall, but it's not completed unless it also smells like fall. And I am so happy to have Drift sponsor today's video. So Drift is literally the best thing since sliced bread. They create air care products for your car and home. So this is a beautiful wood air freshener, and it also comes in stone as well. What's cool about the car fresheners is that you can also get them through a subscription. I received the Grove Mountain Greens Sugared Citrus, which fits perfectly with my organic greenery pumpkin decor. All the materials they use are sustainable, and their scents are made with natural, essential, and fragrance oils. What is cool about their car and home fresheners is that you can get them as a subscription. So first you receive a starter kit with the clip and the scent, and then you can get a monthly refills as they recommend changing them every 30 days. The best part is their scent of the month features new limited edition scents, and they are inspired by the seasons. So with the scenting environment, nose blindness is a real thing. So the scent of the month gives you variety for your nose every month. Okay, so here is the card clip I'm going to go ahead and put in my car. And there's a magnet on the back of the freshener that basically just clips on to the card clip. They produce almost made-to-order products, and the subscription is very flexible, so you can change your scent by choice, your delivery frequency, or cancel your subscription anytime you'd like. Make sure you use my coupon code Michelle35 for 35% off at Drift. It's less than $6 for your first month. So we're going to move on to the mantle decor. And what we are doing here is we are making fake terracotta pumpkins. The inspiration and photo is from Pottery Barn, and we are going to DIY this. So I got this kind of recipe concoction from a blog post I'll link down below, and I am using the Pottery Urn Sherwin-Williams paint, some baking soda, and this is actually chalk, like crushed chalk. You use it like when you work out, you know, like the gymnasts use it on the bars. They chalk their hands before they go to the bars, and that is what that is from Amazon. So most of my pumpkins are from Hobby Lobby. I also went to a store called Craftex. It's kind of local in Houston, and they're very orange. And since I'm doing, the organic type look, then I want to kind of dupe these into that terracotta look. So terracotta is also very heavy, and I just don't have room to store super heavy stuff up in the attic. So basically what this blog post recipe calls for is the pottery urn paint, and this is just a sample can from Sherwin-Williams. It was $9. And then this baking soda, and you're just basically mixing 1 scoop of baking soda into the paint to make it very thick. Like I did do several scoops. It says to just mix it until you feel like it's thick enough to put onto the pumpkins. So after doing just a couple of scoops, I'm going to go ahead and mix it up and see what the thickness is like. The only thing about doing like recipe DIYs from blog posts is that it'll just say until you feel like it's thick, but you can't actually see it. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to dump a bunch in there and then figure it out along the way. So here we go. Let's experiment and see how this turns out.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself.
I did do 2 coats on each pumpkin, and they are very fast drying. Now, whenever you go to, if you do decide to do this and you go to Sherwin-Williams, you can pick whatever color you want. When I saw the sample, the paint looked very darker than what I was expecting, but as I'm painting it, it doesn't look as dark. But you also need to remember that you are going to be putting like chalk around the outside, so it's also going to lighten it up. I think the thickness of the paint turned out fine. Like I said, I'm not sure what it was supposed to feel like or look like, but I put probably 5 or so tablespoons or scoops of the baking soda in there. I probably could have done a little bit more, but I think that ended up being pretty good. So everything is painted. I'm going to let them dry overnight, and then in the morning I'm going to pull out this chalk-like powder stuff. So the pumpkins do have to be completely dry. And then it says to get a dry paper towel, put it into the chalk, and just rub it all over the pumpkin. So this gives it that nice distressed look. So if you remember in this picture from Pottery Barn, I'll post it up here again. They have the darker terracotta jack-o'-lantern type pumpkins, and I read that you can do that using like the same concept, but then doing like mud or dirt around it to give it a darker look. So you can see this is the difference between the painted one on the right and then the painted one with like the chalk distressing on it. But for Halloween, I think I am going to do the darker terracotta jack-o'-lantern type pumpkins and see how that turns out using like the mud or the dirt.
Wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire.
So now I have all of these pumpkins completely painted and chalked over, and I do love the way that they turned out. So now we can finally move over to the mantle above the fireplace. So I'm huge on decorating the mantle for Christmas. So if you haven't seen those videos, then go check them out. But in my Christmas video last year, somebody recommended, in order to hang my humongous heavy garland, is to use chicken wire. And I had already hung up our garland earlier. So my idea here was to get those little hook things and hook them into the wall and then run the chicken wire down. That way I can build out a pretty garland. I've used command hooks in the past. I've used heavy duty command strips, which I thought were going to be the solution last year, but over the course of the month, they were falling down all the time. And we even hot glued them to our mantle. And you can see, like you can probably see right there, there's little rips of the paint or distressing off of our mantle. So this, I think, is going to be the solution for anything that we hang on the mantle moving forward. We'll keep the hooks there hidden behind the mirror, and then we can just change out the chicken wire when needed. I also have this huge mirror, and it is bolted into the wall, but it just sits on the mantle, so it's very difficult to put anything on top of it. So because there's just not enough space, so that's why this will help me be able to build a garland, you know, whatever in the front of it, opposed to like on the top of it. Now, about 2 years ago, I did create a fall type, really orange garland used with different floral picks. And I did have a video. I had a marathon video go out a couple weeks ago, so you can check that out if you want to see what it looked like. But this time I'm doing an organic, like I said, pumpkin patch type garland. So I am going to be using picks from more greenery type picks. At the time of doing this, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. In my head, it's going to be really pretty, but I did go to, like I said, the store Craftex, and I bought several different pieces of greenery. I hope that I bought enough. And then I bought these little vases so that they were like on clearance, so that I could create different heights with the pumpkins. And I'm also going to be using some of the velvet pumpkins that are from Pottery Barn, and I'm going to be using the terracotta pumpkins that we just painted. I do have more fairy lights. I decided not to use them here, but instead I'm going to put these artificial remote controlled candles up. So I have this vision. I'm going to throw it together and let's see how it turns out.
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road.
So the first thing I'm going to do is build out the greenery garland by using the chicken wire and putting the picks, weaving them into there so that they can stay steady. I'm going to do one on the left side, and then I'm going to go to the right side and do the exact same thing. That way I can look at each side and make sure they're symmetrical. I'm using 3 different types of greenery. These long pieces I already had. I used them for a lot of my spring decor in my vases. And then these kind of, they almost look like eucalyptus type leaves that I'll be using. And then I also have more kind of frosted leaves. My first plan was just to use those two, the greenery I'm holding there and then the frosted one. But when I kind of put it together, I didn't have enough, and the store is not close to my house. So that's why I grabbed the ones that I already have. But I do like that it gives it a variation of different colors and textures of leaves. And another kind of tip here is that I'm building the garland in the front of the mantle. So that chicken wire does allow me to be super flexible. Instead of putting everything on the top like I've done in the past, this allows you to do it in the front so that you can put whatever decor you want on the top and it's not like sitting all on top of the leaves. Also, it's way more eye-catching and you can see it so much better. I went to a decorating store last year for Christmas, and they had these heavy, super heavy, beautiful garland displays on these like fireplaces. And I asked them, I'm like, what's your trick to hanging up these heavy pieces of garland? I can't get mine to stay on. And they were like, we just nail them into the mantle. And I was like, well, that's probably not going to work at my house. So thank you to my wonderful subscriber for this idea. And that's why we're here, to bounce different ideas and inspiration off of each other.
You start to get dressed and then we cry, 'cause we both know
So here's what it looks like from the top. It's all wired in and secure. You can't see it. I have the hooks that are going into the wall and not into the mantle. And they are just zip tied to the chicken wire. Once the garland is complete, I'm going to start building this out using these little candle things to create height so that I can stack the pumpkins on.
Let me feel your love again, 'cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the two of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night. Everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. 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 All that time away from you.
So I've added these battery operated candles that are going to be the nice display in the middle, so it doesn't block the mirror, but it does give it a little different heights. I end up taking 2 of those candles out because next I'm going to start adding some of those velvet pumpkins in between.
We want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night. Everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand.
The last thing I'm adding are these little flower things. I don't even know what they're called, but basically I'm going to try and fill the holes with them. I have 3 little bundles, so I'm going to keep 2 of the bundles together, put them on the ends of, the corners of the mantle, and then the last one I'm going to unravel and then put them underneath the smaller pumpkins. And then you're just going to keep playing with it until you get it set up exactly the way you want. Now, I will say one thing that bothers me just a little bit is that the candles are not perfectly straight up because of, that chicken wire's underneath it. So it doesn't allow me to lay them flat. So they look a little bit crooked, but overall, I think that it still looks fantastic. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Let me be that someone who can hold your hand.
And this is how it turned out.
Hey, I've been dreaming about you. Every night I see you clear as day. It's just something about the way you make me feel. 'Cause I can't concentrate anytime you're beside me. Yeah, it's what you do to me. I can barely breathe. Hey, I've been thinking about you and all the words that I'm going.
And lastly, I'm moving on to this console table that is behind our couch. I made that little piece for the springtime that I'm moving away, and I did stain this table black. It used to be wood color, so everything here I've kind of DIY'd a bit. Once I get it cleaned up, I do have 2 full boxes of fall decor. I am going to do another fall decorating video. I didn't realize I made this one so long. So probably mostly my front porch, and then I'm going to go through some of the other stuff I have, pull it out, and then see what else I can come up with. So if you're not subscribed already and you have been enjoying this video and the ideas, then I would love for you to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. But here I'm going to keep it simple. I created that moth bowl for the springtime, and I originally had it on another console table. I moved it to the front. And then this is actually a garland piece. I did order this one from Pottery Barn last year. It's beautiful. I probably could have got something similar at Home Goods, but I did like it. I thought it was going to be a lot longer, but anyway, I'm going to wrap it around here and almost make it like this, like another pumpkin patch, instead of hanging it as a garland, like over a mirror or something like that. I kept the greenery underneath because, like I said, I'm going for that organic look. And then I had these pumpkins used to light up. They're from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. I think one of them doesn't work anymore, but there's a plug and they can light up if needed. But I'm just going to fill in some of the empty spaces with some extra pumpkins I have, and then have this space complete. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite idea was. And I also wanted to thank Drift for sponsoring today's video, so be sure to check them out in the link below. I will see y'all next week.